What is up, everybody? It's Brian PULIDO, and welcome to the July Sworn Club show. This is the monthly show. We're going to have some fun today. First thing we're going to do in a couple minutes is give some goodies away. Then we're going to have a segment called Remember This, where I pull up an artifact from the past and we ruminate. Then I'm actually going to chill a little bit, talk a little bit more about our ongoing campaign, Lady Gunfighter. Then we're going to wrap it up with a segment that we like to call Beer with Brian. And for the first time ever, maybe since the first time I ever did Beer with Brian, I'm actually going to drink beer because it's past 5 o'clock and I can do it. All right, everybody. So without further ado, I wanted to run down some cool stuff. First up, I don't know if you boys and girls have noticed it, but Coffin Comics is now making our own full-color backing boards. You know, there's a long history in comics of backing boards where stores do a little stamp, but I thought, let's take it up a notch. So as of the Phoenix Fan Fusion promotion, we have our own beautiful full-color backing boards. And we have ordered over 100,000 of them. So that means they will last us about 6 months. But if you order, you're going to get a full-color backing board. Beautiful art by Diego Bernard. And here we claim CoffinComicShop.com, the largest Coffin Comics dealer in the world. And I think we could say that with confidence. Next up, it is a busy time here in the summer at Coffin Comics, and it's great that we're inside because it's 117 degrees outside. Lady Gunfighter is going, and we're going to talk a little bit about that later. That is an all-new crowdfunding on our own crowdfunding platform called Coffin Launch. You may notice that I am wearing a Black Sabbath shirt, probably because like every other metalhead on Earth, we watched the live stream back to the beginning, and it was emotional. If you saw it, you know this to be true. I don't know what excited you. I could talk for hours about it. I think one of the coolest things, there's so many cool things, but the fact that Nuno Benincourt played 12 songs and he just killed them, in my mind, he was just the MVP. Amazing. Steven Tyler coming out and singing, seeing that his vocal cords are healed, it's amazing. Never quite been a Tool fan, but I might have just turned the corner on them because their performance knocked me out. Lamb of God held it down. Youngblood did an amazing cover of Changes. I've been actually following Youngblood's career. I listen to a lot of English hard rock metal and all that kind of stuff, and I've seen his videos. You know, he's a fine, upstanding young man. Personally endorsed, it looks like, by Ozzy Osbourne. Slayer came on. Tears came to my eyes. It was beautiful. Love it. I always love it. I can't explain it, but I get very emotional. Seeing Slayer, listening to Slayer, seeing them perform, I can't explain it, but it's touching for me. Of course, I mean, the list goes on. I could do a whole stream about this, and you guys and gals have been seeing it as well. Obviously, Ozzy held it down. He sang 8 or 9 songs. Personally, I think he could go on tour, with his cool chair. Doesn't matter to me. The only thing, it's not a criticism, but man, I would love to have heard Black Sabbath play Black Sabbath. It was great that Guns N' Roses did Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, but I don't want to hear Black Sabbath play Black Sabbath. Anyway, big up, very emotional for all metalheads. I know, you're feeling it when you see Ozzy sing, See You on the Other Side. They were cutting to like people crying. We're crying, myself and Francisca. Don't get me started. Okay, I have hijacked this stream talking about Sabbath, but I think you could all agree with me, right? Fair? If there's any comments about the Sabbath thing, let us know, but it was great.
Nuno was a monster. He out-Jake.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, there's probably more to that, and again, another stream, but I think that Nuno very smartly stepped back and let Jake take lead. I read a little bit about behind the scenes of that, and Jakey Lee's recovering from being shot, folks, so he's had a practice, and he and Nuno actually went and practiced all the parts together. And if you notice, go back and watch the stream. When Jake came on, Nuno kind of like backed up a little bit and just let Jake do his leads. But Nuno, whoa, right? That don't get me started. All right, this weekend, Coffin Comics are doing 2 all-new, no-repeat shows with Clan McDonald on Facebook. That starts this Friday at 4 o'clock Arizona time, which is whatever time you're on, and then Saturday at noon Arizona time. And here's the thing, folks. We are bringing the heat. We are all the tricks, and it's a no-repeat weekend. So both shows are going to be utterly unique. I highly encourage you to sign up on the Clam McDonald Facebook page to get all signed up and stuff and be part of it. It'll be myself, Brandy Sparkles, and a very special guest star for the streams. And look, Swornfest 2026, we're making the announcements. We announced Ortiz, Dawn McTague, David Harrigan, others, and you can expect an announcement probably in about a week for our next guest. I can tell you that at Coffin Comics, I think Nick G could back me up. We are hard at work. We have received 90% of all the new additions from all our guests, and we won't name who they are, and we're already working on it. Plans are afoot. Is that true, Nick? He agrees. All right, everybody. You know me, I'm just going to talk it up. But anyway, you'll see right here and now that we have 3 different piles of books, and I'll show you the first pile. We have this cool Lady Death, this cool La Muerta, and this cool Lady Satanis. And if you are a member of the Sworn Club, and you certainly should be, you can be eligible. We've actually put all the Sworn Club names in there. I'm going to pick one out. But you might be saying, what the heck is the Sworn Club? Sworn Club is a club kit that comes with a membership card, other goodies, and it has several distinct advantages. One is you get news about Coffin Comics 24 hours before anybody else, and you get a 1-hour advantage on the great majority of all Coffin Comics promotions. Excuse me, I'm distracted. We have like a truck out there making a lot of noise. Anyway, so without further ado, let's play for the first person here. I'm going to pick somebody. I'm going to announce their first name and last. And that person is Sean M. Sean M., thank you so much for being a member of the club. And you're going to get these goodies. Let's do some more. Next up, Cool Lady Death 1, Hellwitch Lady Death, and a Lady Gunfighter. Speak of the devil. Let's pick a lucky Sworn Club member. That member is, a classic, Dustin P. I think many of us know who that is. Dustin P. Club member. Now we'll do one more. We'll move on to our next segment. Simon Bisley, Lady Death. Man, I am a comics fan too. And to think that Simon Bisley would one day do a cover featuring my character, wonderful. It's bliss. And then the beautiful La Muerta and Chaotica with the bratty face. That is a Keith Garvey signature move, like the bratty face. Love it. All right, let's pick out another lucky club member. That is Chris A. Please spread the word. Chris A. You are the lucky club member. Folks, thanks for watching this piece. Stand by as we throw it to video, and then we're going to come back with a segment we call Remember This. Please throw it to video. And we're back. Shh. Are we back? We don't know if we're back, so we'll let you know in a minute. We're experiencing little technical things, but behind this question mark is going to be something kind of fun that we like to call Remember This. We could bring the comments up and people will tell us if we're live or not. We don't know if we're live or not. Let's bring up the comments.
They can hear us.
Okay, so everybody stand by. A dark screen for some reason. But hang on, we're going to do this, remember this. But in the meantime, so I'm looking forward to the Beer with Brian segment because I've seen a couple of horror movies and some weird movies that we could talk about. Also looking forward to your comments. We're figuring out why our screen went dark. That's a new one. So today's Remember This is going to harken back to even pre-Chaos Comics days. This is a very, very early collectible.
Okay, we're going to try and end and come right back.
All right, everybody, we're letting you know that we're going to end the stream, but we're going to come right back in an effort to get the picture back. So,
Wait.
All right. Hey, we're
Can they
good.
see you now?
now I guess I'm back.
We're good.
We're learning. Thank you for your patience. I was liking, like I've said this since the beginning, like Coffin Comics are like the little rascals, you know? It's like, we decide that we're going to have a boat and we're going to go like put it all together with kind of tape and all that kind of stuff. But that's what we're doing. So welcome back, everybody. And now we're doing our Remember This segment. And you'll take a look behind us. And here's what I'm going to ask you to remember. Check out this beautiful image by Stephen Hughes. We're going to get a little focus on it. There it is. Now, you may be asking yourself, well, I mean, it's a beautiful piece of art by Stephen Hughes, but what the heck is it? Well, back in the day, when the original first printing of the Evil Ernie trade was out, and this is actually our first printing, it's not the first printing, we did a limited edition. It was limited to 120 copies, I think it was, and each one came with a signed bookplate signed by myself and Stephen Hughes, numbered, and came with the original illustration. So this happened to be the one that I kept, and if we could get in a little closer on this, it's much more interesting than seeing me, because this is the quality that Stephen was putting out for these drawings. And I think he sent he was living in Boston at the time, I was in California, and he sent the first 30 of them to me. I looked at it and I'm like, Stephen, this is incredible. How much time are you putting in each one? And he said something, he was putting in like, I don't know, a couple of hours in each one. I'm like, gosh, I don't think that's, we're going to sell these things for 30, 40 bucks. That's not really cost effective. So if you saw these or you have one of these, it'd be awesome if you could post them on Sworn Nation or my Facebook page, because this is probably the first time we came up with the idea of doing something of a limited nature. I'd like to think that we were among the earliest to do stuff like this, but I wanted to share it with you because I am just a big fan of this. I love it. This image is gorgeous, and Stephen Hughes rules, everybody. So what we're going to do now, thank you for watching this segment called Remember This. We're going to throw it back to video and come back and talk a little bit about Lady Gunfighter. Thank you. This is Brian PULIDO, publisher of Coffin Comics, and I'm presenting an all-new 48-page original graphic novel entitled Lady Gunfighter, Condemnation. Shot and presumed dead, Lady Gunfighter has no time to heal. She and her loyal partner Pike have bloody work to do. Together, they journey to a nightmarish town on the edge of civilization to rescue a loved one from savage outlaws. But will the wicked gunslinger Jebediah Kane really allow them to escape? Or will he and his demonic pistol send Lady Gunfighter straight to hell? It's a bullet-riddled supernatural western in the Coffin Comics manner. Please back our campaign now and tell everyone you know. Thank you so much. I'm back. Hey everybody, welcome back. How you doing? I figured I'd talk a little bit about our current Coffin launch, which is Lady Gunfighter, Condemnation. Here I have some pages by Joel Gomez. If you haven't heard already, we've actually moved our crowdfunding activities to coffinlaunch.com. We're in our 4th campaign of the year out of 8, and the current one we're working on is called Lady Gunfighter, Condemnation. So that continues the story that we began on Kickstarter in Chapter 1, and it's the same team. It's Mike McLean, Joel Gomez, Hedman Zalvadar, and veteran letter, Marshall Dillon. I see some comments out there. I guess the camera's a little too small. for me to see. If right now what I'm looking at is about 5 or 6 different screens. If it could be one, it'd be easier to read comments. But if not, okay. Some of the beautiful artwork by Joel. Yeah, it's been a blast working on this storyline, and I would assert that we think that the campaign itself is a success, so expect an interesting announcement about the Joel Gomez portion of the Chaos Verse shortly. This is the cover of the actual premiere edition. This is by Diego Bernard, and Gunfighter's cool. She has these demonic pistols that shoot bullets that never miss, and you could tell she's like walking forward but shooting backwards and nailing 6 or 7 different bad guys, people with leprosy. Some other ones for you to consider. Let's see. Oh man, there's so many good ones. Where do I begin? It's the Supernatural edition by Jamie Tyndall. So this campaign is live until July 25th, and it's at coffinlaunch.com. I highly encourage you to back that campaign, particularly if you like the first chapter. So folks, thanks for hearing about Gunfighter. We're actually going to throw it to video one more time, and then we're going to kick it a little bit and have a bit of a convo with Beer with Brian. So without further ado, let's throw it to video. Greetings, everybody, and now welcome to a segment that we like to call Beer with Brian. Fun thing about this one for me is I'm just going to have a beer with you. We usually do this segment before 5 p.m., so I'm not drinking beer. I'm drinking water, coffee, but, oh, man, I'm really happy. So this is an interactive segment where we talk a little bit about pop culture, what's going on, and you have a chance to ask some questions. But I usually like to start this off with some of the things that I've been watching or experiencing in pop culture and have my comments about it. So I guess the first thing, I saw the movie 28 Years Later recently. Now, before the movie began, we rewatched the movie 28 Days Later. I am happy to report that movie really still holds up, and it is phenomenal. It's just a bullet of suspense, horror, emotion, amazing movie. Now, the new movie, 28 Years Later, clearly a much bigger budget, and this movie is strange. If you've seen it, you have to agree. Is it a coming-of-age movie? Is it an action-adventure film? Is it a movie about family? It's all over the place. They also introduce brand new types of infected. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. I perhaps am getting a little ahead of myself. The basic premise of the movie is this story takes place 28 years later after an infection essentially wipes out 99% of humanity, and who survives are these things called infected, human beings turned into being overcome with a thing called the rage virus. So 28 years later, this world has changed. The United Kingdom is isolated, and in this movie, they introduce new types of infected. And I will go on record as saying that the last 2 minutes of this particular movie are among the strangest I have seen. So I'm not going to spoil it for you. And I wanted to know what these last 2 minutes meant, like the names of the characters, what they look like, and I did some research. And it's really tied to something in the United Kingdom, and it is just plumb strange. So Francisca and I also finished up Squid Game, season 3. I'm not going to say anything or spoil it, but I am going to take a sip. Well, without further ado, I'd be happy to take some questions. Perhaps Brandy Sparkles sees a question, and let's get into it.
Chad is asking if there's going to be a new character launched by Gomez.
So, Chad, that is a very interesting question, and I have to go like this. Like, I have to say, ask me no questions, I will tell you no lies. I cannot report anything yet, so stand by. Did I mention that Coffin Comics will be at San Diego Comic-Con, also known as Comic-Con International, in just 2 weeks? I believe between now and then we'll probably do a live show revealing the insane exclusives by artists that are in attendance, like Eric Basildua, Mike Crome, Tehani Farr, Monty Moore, and others. So stand by for that.
Yep, Matt's asking when will exclusives for SDCC be unveiled?
Oh, Matt, I would imagine we are going to do it within the next calendar week or 2. We have no choice, right? It's happening. It's right upon us. So, Matthew, as you can probably see, all your great traveling throughout the state of Arizona and reconnecting with nature has inspired us. And Francisca and I just came back from a week in Montana. There was a time in the 90s where, like yourself, Francisca and I were just ripping through Arizona, going through all the wonderful, fun, exotic, small cities and gorgeous geological formations. And we've known that we're using our summer holidays to visit national parks, but I definitely give you credit for inspiring us to get back to nature. Any other questions?
Yeah, scroll up real quick. No, down. There was one.
Is there something?
There. Do you go to a lot of metal shows lately? And if so, do you prefer large events or small?
Well, in terms of my consumption of concerts, it's just whatever is exciting. So back in February, we saw Kerry King, the solo artist, and we saw him at a pretty small venue here in Arizona called The Nile. And then Nick, myself, and Francisca on Thursday are going to a mid-size venue to see Brit Floyd. They're celebrating the anniversary of Wish You Were Here. But I've gone to metal shows of all sizes, from 50 people to 50,000. I'm up for it, whatever. I mean, check this out. I saw the band Ghost in 2011 at the Roxy in Los Angeles, and there were maybe 200 people there. So I'll go wherever my interests lie.
Samantha says she loves the new teaser for the demon, I can't pronounce, Demonicron, that's the word.
Samantha, I'm really happy that you like the new teaser for the Lady Death Demonicron game, and I'm happy to announce that sections of the game will be playable live at Comic-Con International. So in a couple weeks, we will actually have Ash Nichols of Art of Play, the maker of the game, present doing live demos at our booth at Comic-Con, and our booth number is 5530. Any other questions?
Yeah. Have you seen the movie Sinners? Stolen Zombie asks.
I have seen the movie Sinners, and I enjoyed it quite a lot. I think clearly anytime something is original and gets to be put on the screen, it's amazing, because we do live in a world of sequels and toys turning into games, movies, and I really like seeing original stuff. So I like the filmmaker, Ryan Coogler. I've liked everything he's done, whether it's Fruitvale Station, Creed, Black Panther, all really, really terrific movies. It was fun. In a sense, it was a world I've never seen before, going back to that particular area and that time. The cast was amazing. So yes, I had a blast with that film. We'll probably watch it again on HBO over the weekend.
Next, we have Miguel Apodaca asking,
Hi, Miguel.
Can we get another Zach the Zombie Exterminator book?
Miguel, I can say that there is a possibility of a Zach the Zombie Exterminator book in the future. I can't be definitive about when, but we can say it could come in the future. And let's have one more final question, and we'll wrap up this fun, invigorating session of Beer with Brian. I hope you're enjoying our Sworn Club shows. Tomorrow, I think tomorrow we actually have a mission control show where we're going to talk more about Lady Gunfighter. And, we're getting back in the rhythm after all of us were on vacation. Any good final questions?
Miguel is asking, any new artist announcements to tell us?
What I can tell you that'd be kind of fun, upcoming for Lady Death, Immortal Deception, Coffin Launch, which is coming at you on August 5th. In fact, actually, while we're here, let me show you some of the some art from Immortal Deception. Here's the premiere edition cover by Diego Bernard and colored by Giuliano Preratelli. This story pits Lady Death between warring clans of dragon riders and serpent masters. And in fact, here's a beautiful double-page spread by Diego to give you a sense of the scope of this particular storyline. I think one of the wilder elements of this story is that it actually, some of it, the beginning of it, takes place during the day. Now, some of the artists who are associated with this particular campaign include Joe Jusko, Kendrick Lim, Carla Cone, and some others. I don't want to spoil it. But what I can say is when we unveil the Hell Witch Hexecutioner Coffin Launch, one of the main artists on that campaign will be Shikari. So wrap your mind around Shikari drawing Hell Witch. I got to tell you, Shikari tested the edge, and we came right to the edge with Shikari. So I'd love to take one final question, if there is any out there, as I swig my beer.
Have you seen the Longlegs movie?
I saw the Longlegs movie. I mean, I thought it was funny. I'm sorry. If people think it's scary, I enjoyed it, but it was also super ridiculous, right? Come on. This crazy Nicolas Cage guy walks into a convenience store. The girl on the other side acts bored and talks to her dad. I thought this movie was ridiculous, completely ridiculous. I had fun, but I didn't think it was scary. I thought it was ridiculous. And all the crazy symbols and all that kind of stuff, don't get me started. I have seen it. If you enjoyed it, I'm happy for you. I thought it was quite silly, but I did also enjoy it because Nicolas Cage was completely off the reservation. I mean, can you and I be honest? If you saw Nicolas Cage looking like that coming down the street, you'd run. Anybody would run. The police would run. He's such a freak in that movie. And the idea that he just walked around and people kind of handled it, I thought that was silly. How about you? I guess...
Pretty sure he's just a freak.
Yeah, right. So forgive me, I would love to take one more question if you have one more question, and then we'll wrap up this session of the Sworn Club and for July of 2025.
Mr. Avagato is asking, any Marine Corps covers coming up?
That's right. You have guessed it. We're actually celebrating the birthdays of all 5 branches of the military this year, including Space Force. So yes, Marine Corps is on the way, as is the rest of the branches. Here they come, everybody. Stay tuned. Folks, I want to thank you so much for tuning into this particular stream. Thank you for putting up with our technical difficulties. We'll do better next time. All I got to tell you is you've been great. I've been Brian PULIDO. I'll holler at you later.